Good morning, Unity of London. That song reminds me that here we are, a bunch of newborn kings and queens here on the Sunday service with Unity of London. We're so grateful everyone's joined us now and grateful for those of you that will watch us later online. So at Unity of London, we share the same vision statement as almost all unities worldwide. And I invite you to affirm this with me in your own home, that we see a world powerfully transformed through the growing movement of shared spiritual awakening. And as we go through this holiday time, moving from the old and into the new, during that time, we will have, I'm sure, some shared spiritual awakening. And in order to see that vision, our mission in London, at Unity of London, is to transform lives. And we do that by living our core values and inspiring others to make a positive difference in the world by the example that we set. And so I invite you now to join me in prayer. As you settle into your seat, I invite you to settle into your heart space and feel the divine energy of life beating your heart, for we all beat together as one. So during this festive time, we envision and see things that are occurring. We know that it is all unfolding for our highest and greatest good. We know that those that are hurting from sickness or dis-ease, we see them transforming into being at ease, for the healing power of spirit is always flowing with and through each and every one of us at every given moment. We see the children of the world being hugged and loved, growing into wonderful, giving people of service. And as we again move through this difficult time with this thing called a pandemic, we remind ourselves that wherever we are, in amongst everything is God. And it's only our thinking that makes it good or bad. We also know as people of unity that we are love-loving if we only open our hearts and our minds. So I invite you to do that now, opening your heart and your mind to the fact that love is flowing with and through you every moment. And as you give, it comes back to you. Pressed down, shaken up, and growing, or so it says in the big book, in some way, shape, or form. We are preparing to have a great service. Something that someone says, maybe a song or a note, we will transform. And I invite you to think of those that you love and who you'd like to send a little extra loving energy to, as we also hold Unity of Montreal in our prayer and all spiritual gatherings, for there are many paths to the one and only God. And so it is, and so we let it be. Amen. And now Jane will share from today's daily word how we do get to use our core values or live our core values. Jane?
Okay, the daily word is release. I take the best and leave the rest. My experiences of this past year have brought me gifts of insight, new perspectives, many chances to grow and stretch myself, and perhaps the opportunity to develop a skill that serves in my work or brings greater enjoyment to my leisure time. Some experiences have been painful or difficult. These too have offered their gifts. I accept that all have come my way. With gratitude, I bless it all. I find the gifts and release what no longer serves my growth. Assured that God is my dependable source, I release any pain of a financial setback. In the joy of restored health, I release any memory of illness. Grateful for all modes of connection, I release any pain of loneliness. I move forward, feeling lighter, cleansed, and renewed for my journey forward. Do not remember the former things, or consider the things of old. Isaiah 43, verse 18. I now have the pleasure this morning to introduce our speaker, Pauline Duncan-Thrasher. Pauline has been a Unity Prayer Chaplain since 2008. She's a co-partner with Sylvia Vandehoek of our spiritual leadership team. Pauline is a student of Unity teachings and an aspiring licensed Unity teacher. She's also a communications life coach, lifestyle coach, writer, and speaker. With her presentation, The Power of Presence, please give a warm Unity welcome to Pauline.
Thank you very much, Jane. What a lovely introduction.
So welcome.
Here at this time following Christmas, we might have in our minds the thought of presents, gifts. And a present is both given and received. And this talk is about the present of presence, our presence, your presence. I was trying to think of a picture that would really symbolize how uniquely special each of us are in the world. And this is a galaxy of stars. We each have our own way of shining. Might be great big star, maybe even a meteor flying through the air, or a tiny star. But we are each as a presence in the world, the visible sign of divine presence. I don't know about you and what you did over the holidays, but I expect a lot of us watched some movies, a few movies. And there are two classics that stand out in my mind, but one especially. It's a Frank Capra classic, 1946 movie called It's a Wonderful Life. And if we were in person, I'd say, how many of you have seen it? And I know Mary Ann has because I can see her picture, and Catherine has. At first this year, I didn't want to see it again. And my reason for not wanting to see it was because George, the main character, goes through so much awful stuff in his life. I thought, I don't want to see awful stuff on the screen. And yet, it is in his meeting the challenges, the financial hardships, the poverty, the feeling that he didn't do as much as he wanted to do, that he's insignificant. Are those feelings that affect a lot of us from time to time? I know they sometimes affect me. But I don't want to give away the whole movie if you haven't seen it, but the fellows in the people in the movie are all people who love George. They love George for who he is, and he lost sight of that. And he became so depressed and so saddened, so filled with anguish, mainly at the financial dilemma he was in, that he was about to do something drastic. And then he met an angel, his own guardian angel called, oddly enough, Clarence. Now I want you to ask yourself, is there an angel in your life? Is there someone in your life who reminds you how special you are? Who maybe holds your hand when you need hand holding? Because I think in our lives, we all have an angel. What George said in a moment of terrible anguish was, I wish I'd never been born. And Clarence said, all right, this is what the world would have been like if you, George, had never been born. And it was awful. There were missing parts, missing joys, missing people who would not have shone as brightly or felt as happy if George had never been born. I don't know if that thought has ever crossed your mind. Hopefully not. But the movie is about George realizing what a significant impact he had on so many people. And it was when he came to that realization that he danced in the street. If I was on the stage at Unity, I'd dance around a bit. You can imagine. And he recognized it's a wonderful life. When we feel our inner peace persistently disturbed, our unity offers an answer. Our faith in unity offers an answer. And I'll give you the answer in a second. Just think about the answer. Okay. We are aware of our own innate power. That's the present of presence. The gift to us that is better than any other gift in the entire world. We were born with the attributes of the infinite divine presence, and our life's work is to develop and express them. Maybe as a teeny star, maybe as a bigger star. Doesn't matter what our size or shape. An awareness of our own innate power. And I was looking up some material about unity, pretending that I didn't know anything about it. And one of the questions is, does unity believe in the divinity of Jesus Christ? This is the answer. Yes. Yes. Unity teaches that the Spirit of God lived in Jesus, just as it lives in every person. There's a gift. Every person, you and me, and anybody who might watch this later on, anybody in the universe, all people, has the potential to express the perfection of Christ as Jesus did. How? By being more Christ-like in everyday life. And one of the powers, and we've talked about it at our candlelight service, one of the powers, the divine wisdom, represented by this little yellow candle. And notice it's not a tall, graceful taper. It's just a little squat yellow candle, because wisdom comes in different shapes and sizes. It's our innate ability by which we evaluate and discern, moment by moment, how effectively we are being the best person and the best Christ we can be. Are there times when we're not? Absolutely. We're human. But we use our wisdom and we figure out, what am I doing right in this moment to be the best person, the best Christ I can be? The most loving, the kindest, the most forgiving. We use our divine wisdom to apply everything we know about divine ideas, laws and principles, to make them ever more practical. And if you know about unity, you know that a big, stalwart foundation of unity is practicality. How do we use it in our everyday life? It's not about standing far up on a pulpit and imparting all kinds of wisdom that doesn't relate to everyday life. How can we use our divine wisdom every day? If someone in our home is aggravating us, can we show extra love? We talked about love a few weeks ago. And love is such a significant part of us at Unity. And loving ourselves. Loving ourselves so much that we forgive ourselves for the errors. Wisely figuring out that if we love ourselves, we can then love other people. And this again was part of our Unity teachings. We make our own heaven or hell here and now by our thoughts, our words, and our deeds. We don't wait until we die, leave this body to face heaven or hell. I don't know if you agree with this or not, but think about it for a moment. Think about times in your life when you are radiantly happy, like George dancing in the streets. Is that heaven right here? Maybe when you hug your sweet little animal, your furry friend. We see Catherine with her little furry buddy. We see Janet with her lovely cat, Amy. We see Mary Ann with the furry tails wagging across her face. In those moments, we feel a joy. That's a little bit of heaven. Or we hold the hand of someone we love. In our home, we do this thing where Chipper will be wandering around. That's our little dog. And one of us, Dan or I, will pick him up and say, group hug. And there's little Chipper between Dan and me, and we're giving a hug. That's a little moment of heaven. When a neighbor gives you something totally unexpected, a little gift, that's a moment of heaven. You receiving, them giving. Am I ignoring hell? Absolutely not. Because the hell is how we react to what is hurting us. If we react in anger or push back or say, no, I don't want that, stamping of the feet, screaming in a tantrum, we're creating a little bit of hell by how we react. Our thoughts, maybe nobody hears them except us. In our thoughts, heaven or hell. And certainly in our words and in what we do, we are making our own heaven or hell. So we get to choose. That's our present of divine presence. I am a great admirer of Eric Butterworth. And he wrote an article called My Gift to the World. And it reminded me not only of It's a Wonderful Life, but of what we do at Unity. And he said, I am mindful of the great need to give of myself to the world in gratitude for a life of many blessings. How you give of yourself is absolutely up to you. You can give just by allowing someone to give to you. And maybe that happened in your Christmas. Maybe someone gave something to you that you couldn't have given to yourself. Maybe it was something that represented something special. Maybe they just gave you a big hug and said, we don't want you to be alone at Christmas. Maybe they phoned you. Maybe you phoned them. Maybe you sent one of those sweet Jackie Lawson cards. Who knows? How we give to the world is gratitude for our life of many blessings, and we share of many blessings. And another seasonal favorite, one I've watched many, many times, is The Christmas Carol. And I didn't see the whole old one this year, but I saw the tail end, the best part, when Scrooge stands on his head because he's so happy. And he twirls the poor little housemaid around, and she's scared stiff and throws something over her head. But he's so joy-filled. He's realizing how much he can give to the world, and he starts to do it. Charles Dickens created a wondrous story of give back, us giving. And whatever message you need to remind you of the power of your presence in this world, whatever you take away today, I hope you recognize that you don't have to be a brilliant big star. You can be a little wee star. And your presence in this world is changing lives of other people. And if you hadn't been here, the world wouldn't be less rich because of your absence. You matter. And let us now go into meditation. As you relax into your chair, you can put your feet wherever you want to. You can be up on your desk if you want. Just relax. Absorb the belief that you are divine presence. You are Christ in action in this world. As we breathe into our heart space, as we stretch up and absorb all the vitality, the life, the love, the wonders of our universe, the universe that calls to us to be a sparkly, shiny star. We breathe in all that life, vitality, love. Oh, we absorb it. It fills our whole torso, fills our body to the ends of our fingertips, down our legs to the ends of our toes, and we are filled with a radiant, wondrous knowledge that we matter. Whether it's heaven or hell here on earth, we matter. We are the present of presence, divine presence. And I'll give you a few moments. You can create your own music in your own mind. And I'll let you know when our time is up. as we prepare to return, take with you the vision of you, a shining star, shining with divine presence in our world, where we are all equal, regardless of what we have, what we look like, what we own. We are all equally divine presence shining in our galaxy, giving our gift to the universe. And so it is, and so we let it be. Amen.
Thank you so much, Pauline. What a wonderful reminder. Oh, I've got to get myself all on here. A reminder of who we are and the powers that we have, that we are each an expression of divinity, and we have the power of wisdom along with 11 other voices ring. Wow. Now there, love in action. Truly loving. So we always like to take a few moments to thank everyone who continues to give their gifts and their tithes to your spiritual community. We express our appreciation for the benefits that we enjoy, and we rejoice in our chance to share of our good to the source that feeds us. And we will have the prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds me. The love of God enfolds me. The power of God protects me. The presence of God watches over me. Wherever I am, God is, and all is well. Yay, God. And we'll close with our peace song and then have some fellowship. Well, another fine service with Unity of London. And so I welcome anyone if you would like to, if you just want to raise your hand, if you'd like to ask Pauline a question, make a comment. Oh, I see Lois.
That was great, Pauline. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Lois.
Loved it.
Love the title.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I want to wish Merry Christmas to dear Ron Gill. I see your face today, Ron. It's so nice.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm on a different computer.
Ah, yay.
Good to see you.
Sweet Sylvia Square. Good to see you, Sylvia. And Peggy. Oh, and there's Bob Hisson. Yay, Bob.
Hey, Bob.
We see your lips moving, Bob.
thank you for the reminder, Pauline, that we need to continue to seek our joy. Some of these days seem quite joyless anymore, so we have to look for it in new places.
Thanks, Peggy. Yeah,
Give me a song.
creating
Look
our
for
heaven.
joy in all the right places.
Go ahead and stop the recording.